What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, we're taking a look at the Eventide EQ45 because it's on sale for just $19 until September 8th, 2024. Also, the EQ65 is on sale for just $19, as well as some other Eventide plugins. These are the two that we're looking at just because this $19 is a really low price for them. Also, one of my favorites in here as well is the SP2016. I really like this reverb. This one's on sale for $79. But again, in this video, we're going to be focusing on the EQ45 as well as the EQ65. And of course, I'll have a link in the description if y'all want to check them out, learn more about them, or pick them up. So both of these EQs are based off the Uri EQs, which I didn't even know Uri made EQs. I don't know much about this EQ as far as what the hardware was. But the EQ45 is a 4-band parametric EQ with high and low pass filters. And then the EQ65 is just a filter set. Now, the EQ65 is based off the Uri 565 and the EQ45 is based off the Uri 545. All right, so we're going to start with the EQ45, the 4-band parametric EQ. And I've got this on this vocal. And let's bring this in. We'll bypass it for now. And we'll listen to this bypassed. Also on the vocal, I have that reverb that I showed you, the SP2016.
Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Shrug with my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways.
All right, so not bad sounding vocal, but what I've done here, I've added a, go up to 50, got a 50 hertz low cut. For the low band, I'm cutting a little bit of 200 hertz. Adding a little bit at 1K and adding a little bit at 8K. Now, this does not have a shelf, and I'm actually getting ahead of myself. Let's quickly go over these controls. So this is a odd looking EQ, but it is pretty easy to use. On our far ends, we have our low cut and high cut, our low and high pass filters. And then at the top, we have our Q value. We can adjust the width. All the way to the left is going to be narrow, and the more we go clockwise, it's going to make that Q wider. And that's for those 4 bands. And then here at the bottom, we've got a plus 15 and plus or minus 15 dB. So you can go pretty extreme with this EQ. A lot of EQs, you normally stop at like 12 dB, but we can push this one up to 15. And then, of course, in the middle, we have our frequency selectors. I haven't looked to see how much these bands overlap, but I'm sure that they do. I don't want to change these EQ settings I have now. All right. So let's bypass this. I'm going to play this vocal again, and then we'll bring in the EQ45. Again, remember, we're cutting a little bit of low mids, adding a little bit at 1K, and adding a little bit at 8K. Again, that is a bell filter. This is not a shelf.
Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Shrug with my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways.
All right, I left the EQ on for most of that. Let's play that again and bypass it and bring it in and out.
Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Shrug with my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways.
All right, so I'm liking the high end that we've added there. It's probably a little bit too much for me. I think I added 3 dB. I'd probably back that. How much did we add? Oh, 5 dB. Okay, yeah, I didn't mean to add that much. I'm going to pull this back to 3 dB and we'll run that back. I didn't know I hit it up that high. But I'm liking the high end that I'm hearing. Like I said, was too much, which we see now at 5 dB. Also liking what that cut is doing in the low mids, clearing out some of that mud and just making the vocal more clear and adding some clarity. Let's run this back now that we made that adjustment to the high end.
Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Shrug with my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways.
Okay, yeah, that was a lot better. That is the EQ45. And let's take a look on the track. I've got the EQ65, which again is just a filter set. And we've got 3 different notches, 3 different peaks here for the low and high band. We also have low and high pass filters. The way I've got this set, we can just bring it in and we'll hear what I've done on the low end and hear what I did on the high end. Just mainly to give this track just kind of effect. And we'll mute the vocal here. All right, so this filter set, this is useful for doing those, high pass telephone effects or those lo-fi effects you can easily do. This EQ, it's not complicated. Definitely takes some getting used to, just because I haven't seen an EQ like this or filter set like this, just the way this is laid out. Normally when I go for a filter set, I use the Sound Toys Filter Freak, but if you need a filter set, there's definitely one here for $19. All right, let's bring them both up here and let's give some final thoughts. So at $19 each, if you need the filter set, between these two, I would definitely go for the EQ45 if I needed a parametric EQ. Again, this is no shelf, which I would prefer a shelf, but I have so many other EQs where the shelf is really not that big of a deal. 4 bands is enough for me to do any surgical, any cleanup work I need to do with an EQ. This sounds good cutting and boosting, which I do like. And the low cut goes up pretty high. Let me just quickly let you hear that.
Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh.
So the low cut goes up to 1K. Again, useful for those high-passed vocal effects, very easy. But yeah, do I recommend this? The EQ45 at $19? Absolutely. The filter set, if you don't have one at $19, I don't know how much the Sound Toys one is. Really, if I was getting the Sound Toys one, I would just get the whole bundle, honestly. But yeah, at $19, if you need a filter set, this would be a good one to grab. But at $19, I do really like this EQ45. Kind of wish it had a shelf, but again, not that big of a deal. Again, I will have a link in the description if y'all want to check these out, learn more about them, or pick them up. Again, these are $19 each until September 8th, 2024. If you're using any Eventide plugins, definitely comment and let me know. And let me know what y'all think about these, especially at this sales price at $19. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.